Some of the most popular quotes on the internet are complete bullshit. Not because they're always wrong, but because nobody actually thinks about them. As a person who scours the internet daily, my 18 years of living, I found that there are a decent amount of quotes. While getting a theory, if you see it at face value, within further looking, these quotes are oftentimes overused and aren't actually like that with meaning. These are quotes in which you simply hear or look at, you automatically agree with the quote without any further questioning in or reasoning as if that quote is true. Which in some cases it pisses me off and gets me going. But even I do this, in which that is a quality I do not like upon myself and I hope to change. The idea is I'm going to go and see all these common quotes, give my own take and worldview on them. Well, to move on, the name is Myth Evil Me, and I welcome you to Common Quotes I See is Overused. I hope you enjoy. 1. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. In a way, this quote actually makes some sense when you apply this to day-to-day life, whether it be training for 40 hours a week, whether it be training a new job or training in a fight cage, training to run a marathon, training to properly sprint. These activities, although while it might feel horrible in the moment, once you complete these trainings, and hopes you actually did it without half-assing and attempting to give it your all, it shouldn't kill you. In the end, it should have, hypothetically, made you stronger and more resilient for what is to come in the future. But there is, in my opinion, what is called, it kind of just falls off in certain situations. Yeah, you might not say die, but something horrifying could happen. I'm going to use a extreme analogy here, so please bear with me. Let's say, for example, you were charting into unknown territory, a forest, for example, somewhere within the Korean mountains. You fall and trip, tumbling down 2 miles down, where your spine cracks, your legs shatter, and all the bones of your body either fracture or their function to be useful completely withers away. You could, metaphorically speaking, in a situation say, hey man, you're still alive, and guess what? It didn't kill you. It actually made you stronger. My opinion, sure, it might have made him more mentally resilient, but the man can't even fucking walk anymore. He's be spoon-fed from a tube until he dies or until the physical therapy is a success until years later. Or even then, there's a good chance he will never have the same ability he used to have. Listen, I dare you to try and say it made him stronger. I fucking dare you. Genuinely, just try and say that to someone who just lost their life savings, family, and body. That what doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. I promise you, if they could, they would jump out of the wheelchair with their leg flying up in the air and attempt to punch you. It's so easy to give advice and to tell people to stay positive when you yourself are not in this situation. I see it happen in day-to-day life, and on the internet specifically. Whether it be someone venting about a problem they had, you scroll down a few inches into this comment section and you see that damn quote. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. In a way, it just feels as if their whole point is being discarded, as if you shouldn't be talking about your problems, as if you benefited from it. I think that's part of the issue of what we're having in this society. Some problems getting pushed into the dirt as if they don't matter. And the problem is are technically not seen as worth it or getting praised and put onto the news. I will say though that these problems I mentioned are subjective and can switch belief based on person to person. So I ask you, my humble viewer, to think for yourself on what issues are important to you and what problems are not important to you. Thank you. 2. Everything happens for a reason. Now, I have seen a substantial amount of point of views from this quote, or saying this sort of validates the person's struggles. What I mean, I will explain. Let's say in this random made up example that you had a family, and a loving one at that. It was your significant other and your children. You lived your days in a nice, gated community. The crime rate is almost zero in your area, so you can walk out willy-nilly without a care in the world. If you wanted to, you could see your significant other walking across the driveway. But here's where it takes a turn. And all of a sudden, a 47-ton freight train runs her over, decimating her body in one fell swoop. There will be no open casket funeral, even if you had the best surgeons in the world. So you and your, let's say, hypothetical anxious state, assuming you aren't a psychopath or anything in this made-up fantasy land, Your legs quiver underneath you as you lose the ability to use your legs to their potential, causing yourself to crash to the concrete, sobbing and crying. Weeks pass as you are now at the funeral. Did I forget to mention that your children also died and you just lost your house due to it being foreclosed, as your significant other was the main breadwinner of the house? You look there and sit there and you wonder, why did it have to happen? Why me? I didn't deserve this. I played my cards right. I was given a great hand, and yet the dealer got a 21 in his first draw. Should have won in that situation. Then, all of a sudden, someone comes up to you during the funeral. While you're expecting your significant other's casket, he goes up to you, taps you on the shoulder a little bit, goes into your ear, and very quietly says these exact words. Everything happens for a reason. Thinking about this as logically as possible, everything in this world does happen for a reason, whether you're able to witness it or not. I'll give another bleak example to ultimately drive the idea into your mammal school. It's your birthday. Sadly, no one came but one person. Your best friend, Bruce. Bruce is a childhood friend. He came on your birthday and gave you a ton of presents and gifts. In his alternate fictional reality, Bruce is your dear and only friend. Soon after the birthday party, Bruce vanishes. Not a step, not a trace. He simply vanished. You panic. You check the news. Days go by, and weeks, until finally, you hear on the dreaded news, Bruce has died in a car accident. You fall down, covered in tears. Weeks pass. You skipped out the funeral. You hear a knock on the door. It's a debt collector. He's here to collect on your $3,000 personal loan. He goes up to you and asks, "Hey, I'm here on behalf of the IRS. You owe us $3,000. You tell the man what happened out of desperation to garner any sort of sympathy. You hear him say, everything happens for a reason. Assuming you're on the other viewpoint, you might lash out and resent him for saying that. But I want to offer a viewpoint from a different perspective. Everything does happen for a reason. Every minute, insignificant detail you think it has happened for a reason. It is all a domino effect in the making. There are events leading up to a car crash. The first detail is you getting to the car, turning the key. You begin to drive the car. You take it right onto the highway. As you take it right onto the highway, your neck turns down towards your phone. A text message, it seems. You examine and you text back. In that split second, a car comes from your blind spot. Normally, this would have been preventable, but in this case, it isn't. The car turns into you, hitting you in the back, accidentally doing a pit maneuver on you as you both crash and die on impact. The car lights on fire as the passing cars stop. In turn, everything does happen for a reason. Not anything spiritual or deity type of reason, although if you believe in that, then that is your right to have. I'm simply stating from my own point of view, a theory that, at least to my current knowledge, this is the time of making this video. I don't think much know about the butterfly effect, but to explain what the butterfly effect is, in simple terms, it is coined by meteorologist Edward Lorenz during the 1960s. It explains how even simple systems, when there is the slightest change, new outcome from what is predicted is possible, but at the same time, a change within the same system could also result in the same outcome or no outcome. Lorenz first identified what would be called the butterfly effect while working as a meteorology professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology while testing a computer model designed to simulate various weather patterns. Lorenz repeated a simulation he had previously run by rounding the value from 0.506127 to 0.5061. The small alteration caused the program to produce an entirely different weather simulation. If you know numerical decimals slightly well, but you also know how big of a change that is if you actually investigate it even more. In your day-to-day life, there will be options and choices and many things outside of your control, whether that be traffic, whether that be your app on your phone taking slightly longer to load than you previously would have thought. Small choices, even quote unquote insignificant choices, they will add up and they will come up towards you, whether they're good or bad or neutral. Things will happen. Whether or not they had a purpose is up to you. But regardless, life does not care whether you think this had meaning or not. Does not care if you had a horrifying day after a horrifying day. Life also does not care whether or not you had a terrific day back to back. Life is just life. I want to change that meaning of the quote to everything happens for a reason too. Everything happens. Sure, logically speaking, everything quote unquote does happen for a reason, but it's your job whether or not you want to apply meaning towards that. You have the power in that situation too. You always have, and you always will. Then again, I am speaking from my privilege, to be fair. I live in a first world country, and I don't have to worry about getting carpet bombed or running out of food and water. Maybe my viewpoint could change on this. Anyway, this is just a few quotes I saw that were used and redundant. If you enjoyed the video, please give me your thoughts down in the comments and hit the like button so I can get recognition, which in fact make the chemical balances in me as we continue making videos. Anyway, this is Myth Evil Me, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.